Well, Dr. Eddie, I'm Joe Reingold. Today is September the 8th, 2020, and I'm here with Dr. Ed Tanur, and we're going to talk about his background, his history, and his life, and how he came to Dallas, Texas. So thank you for being here today.
No, thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. First of all, tell us a little bit, whatever you know, about your grandparents' background, your parents' background, where they were from, where they lived, where they moved to, etc.
Well, from the side of my dad, we had, from the paternal side, they were originally from Lithuania. And my grandfather had two brothers. From the three of them, actually, they ended up living almost at the same time. One to Mexico, which is my grandfather. The other brother actually went to South Africa. And the other one ended up in actually in the USA. So from the side of my mom, then we had one of them, actually both of them were originally from Bulgaria, but they were more from Sephardic origin. So my dad's side is more Ashkenazi. And they were born again, they were actually from Bulgaria. Before the war, they actually got to live and they went to Quito, Ecuador, to South America, from all places, which is interesting. So they actually, my mom was raised in Quito and she stayed there until finally she got to actually meet my dad in Mexico, because my dad was already born in Mexico City, actually in Guadalajara, which is in the outskirts of Mexico, is one of the states. And they met and they got married really 3 months after getting to know each other. It was kind of an interesting shidduch. I mean, just the connection was, I mean, my mom didn't know anybody in Mexico, and it was through different friends that actually were connecting with each other. Finally, my grandmother and my dad always tell me the story that when my mom arrived in Mexico, the one that actually got to meet my dad first, obviously, was my grandmother, my mom's mom, and she was the one that actually approved of my dad first, in order for my mom to get to meet my dad. But soon after that, they got married and they really made the living of their lives in Mexico.
Wow. Did they settle there? Did they get married and stay at that point in Mexico?
They stay in Mexico. I mean, they got married in Quito because my grandparents were there. And then after that, they just went back to Mexico and stayed in Mexico forever. My mom actually passed away, unfortunately, young, when she was 60, of pancreatic cancer. But they made their living in Mexico. They really stayed there forever.
Okay, so tell me about your young life. What was it like? What kind of things what activities were you involved in?
Well, in Mexico, one of the things that probably I enjoyed the most and was one of the favorite things for me to do, and my mom was very thankful of having that, the equivalent to the JCC in Mexico, the Jewish Community Center, which in Mexico we call it the Centro Deportivo Israelita, which was really everything for young people. I mean, really, when you compare that to the JCC in the States, this really was kind of the center for everything. I mean, everybody went there. In fact, immediately after ending my school hours, I just went directly to the JCC or to this place and spent the rest of the afternoon there until my mom picked me up really at night. So I always like to do a lot of sports. So I was really pretty busy doing all of those type of things. And obviously one of the other things from the Jewish community aspect was that we had many different young Jewish organizations, like the Nora Tzioni, Ichud Abonim, I mean, just different things like Maccabi. Here you have fewer options. So I was always involved in those type of organizations. I was very happy to do that, you know, after hours or sometimes during the weekends. But that's really my childhood was full of those type of activities until I was married, really.
Good. So where did you go to college?
College in Mexico. I mean, we had actually the dental school in Mexico, as Monica was saying. That's where we kind of re-met again. But that was Mexico City, and the specialty, the training that we had after that was here in the States. But yeah, it was in Mexico City.
Had you had thoughts about leaving Mexico City prior to your offer here in Dallas?
Never. I mean, we really thought we were going to live our lives in Mexico forever. Never really in a million years thought that we were going to end up being in a different country, any country. We did have a happy life. I mean, things were good. We had friends, our social network and family. So no, it wasn't really until we were offered to come that things changed for us a little bit. And also Mexico was going through kind of this type of rough patch with, basically having, financial issues, and the country was starting to really get bad in many different ways with corruption. And obviously financially, we had the dollar against the peso, and we were not able to really make that much money with what we had. So the offer came at that particular critical time, and we, like Monica was saying, it took a long time for us to make the final choice, but we thought it was going to be the best thing for us.
Once you made your decision, what was your family's reaction to all of that, to moving?
Well, they were not super happy, but interestingly enough, my dad has always been very patriotic in terms of Mexico City being our place, and the country that I actually opened the doors for them to do whatever they were able to do. So one of the things that really made me think about coming was when he kind of hesitated a little bit. And when I asked the question, what do you think I should do? For the first time ever, he said, you should consider this alternative. So when he said that, to me, that was a very critical thing for me to make that decision. So yeah, I mean, obviously they were not happy to lose, to really lose that connection. But I do believe that even they thought this was probably the best thing for us.
As a married couple coming here, and yet you had already been in Dallas, but what were your first impressions of Dallas as a couple trying to settle in and really make a new life for yourselves here?
Well, we always thought, because as Monica was commenting before, because we had the training here, we knew Dallas a little bit. But I think that it was very welcoming. I mean, really, also from the community point of view, because we knew some people, it was relatively easy for us to make that transition to put the kids in the proper school, kind of very comfortable with that, with socially speaking. So we didn't really have that many issues. And again, we always thought it was a very good place even then to raise a family. Also from the socioeconomical point of view, a very good place to make a living, a good, honest living without having to really have that much money. So overall, we just thought it was just a good place for us to raise a family.
Okay. What kind of things have you gotten involved in, either organization-wise or committees or anything else that you feel you've done that has been worthwhile since you've been here?
Definitely dental organizations, quite a few, and I always been teaching also at the dental school. So that has been very important to me, to be in touch with students. Then from the community perspective, whatever we can do in terms of the shul and khabad of Plano, we always try to help with whatever other activities we have especially in connection with the kids in Levine, in Yavne. So we always try to be involved. Also was part of the board for a little bit. Monica was actually more active than I was. But overall, I thought we had a very nice role, kind of going within the community and out of the community, trying to be part of something organized. So yeah, I mean, we always been honestly much more involved before than what we are right now, because the kids are not here anymore. But the kids were kind of that link that actually connect us to the other organizations and different activities.
I'm curious, how did you pick Chabad of Planos if you did not grow up Orthodox?
Well, again, that was an interesting choice for me, because comparing to Monica was saying that she used to be, I mean, she grew up with the more kosher, semi-observant, traditional house. Actually, I was pretty much reformed. We didn't have that much going on in my house. In fact, I was the one pushing for more religion in my house, at least for us to have Shabbat dinner or something that will kind of puts us together in one setting for a little bit of time, because my dad was very busy working. And interestingly enough, I was the one asking for those things, and my brother and my sister end up being ultra Orthodox. So that was kind of funny. But when we came to Dallas, I just wanted to make sure that Monica was more comfortable in that setting. So we chose really Chabad because we thought that Monica was going to be more comfortable in more of the Orthodox setting than if I went with a conservative or more traditional.
Okay. Can you think of some customs, whether Jewish or Mexican, that you have continued here in Dallas?
Well, pretty much, yes. I mean, a combination of both. Again, even more than what I was exposed to when I was growing up with my family, with my parents. We always try to give the kids a little bit more of a sense of tradition from the Jewish perspective. And that was one of the commitments when we moved to Dallas that I made to Monica, that we wanted to definitely have the kids in Jewish school, for them to be in Jewish school so that they can be exposed to a little bit more than I was when I was in Mexico, even though I also went to a Jewish school, but definitely wanted for the kids to have more of that. So from my personal perspective comparing to Monica, I believe I do more, I observe more of that traditions that I used to, which is great. And from the Mexican perspective, obviously especially when it comes to food, we definitely keep many Mexican traditions in that sense. Monica tries always to cook Mexican dishes and things that would be more traditional Mexican. Besides, when we speak with that lingo, what the different slang in Mexico, we're very proud that actually the kids and ourselves, we can communicate at that level. So we keep a lot of that traditional Mexican customs. And like Monica was commenting before, I do believe the kids, I mean, my daughters are very proud of that. And they enjoy knowing that they have that and other people don't.
Mm-hmm. How often, when have you been able to go see your family in Mexico?
We definitely try to, I believe throughout the year, we probably see the family at least 3 to 4 times a year, at least, if no more, because it's either us going to Mexico or sometimes they're coming to Dallas, or sometimes getting together traditionally, actually, during the winter, which is the best time for us to go to Mexico, December. We almost always have vacations together with the family. So we know that's kind of the thing. I mean, we're always going to have traditionally those vacations together, and we enjoy them very much. I love to be with the entire family. So yeah, we probably see each other at least 4 or 5 times a year.
Oh, that's wonderful. You've been here quite a while, and one of my favorite questions to ask people is, how has Dallas changed since you first came here? And also, how has the Dallas Jewish community changed since then?
Well, definitely from just the infrastructure. Obviously, like Monica was commenting too, Plano was nothing when we were here initially in '92. when we moved, even a few years after, was completely changed. We couldn't even recognize Plano. Obviously, there was not even Frisco then. I mean, not the way we kind of have it right now, north of Plano. So yeah, definitely lots of more people, and residential, everything has changed in that sense. From the Jewish community perspective, definitely more people than what we ever expected to come. And really we're seeing more and more people coming more, especially from Mexico. I have a partner in my practice, which is actually also from Mexico, a Jewish guy from Mexico. And they're like 20 years younger. And they've really been able to do a very nice social network through many people that actually moved recently from Mexico that are more or less the same age as they are. So yes, definitely we see an influx of more and more young Jewish families coming from Mexico.
Okay. What activity or project has been very memorable for you in your life that you're really proud of?
Well, probably one of the most important projects in our family life, and it's actually when I was able to build my own practice, my own office, which took a lot of sacrifices and efforts. And so really that was definitely a turning point for us. And I was very involved in the project. So I started really from scratch and finally building the kind of the dream office that I wanted. So I'm very proud of that, because we came really honestly with not very much when we moved from Mexico, and we were able to accomplish, I believe, many things socially and obviously professionally. And I'm proud that I didn't have to ask for help, and I was able to do it on my own. But that's one of the things that I'm most proud of, really.
If you could change something about coming here, or the way you came here, or the location, or anything, would there be anything you would change?
Not really. I mean, I never thought about it like that, but no, I mean, I don't see anything. I wouldn't change really anything. So.
Okay. Well, is there anything else, Eduardo, that you'd like to add to the interview that we haven't covered?
No, I mean, just that actually in terms of the Jewish community and the way we actually are bringing the kids, I'm just hoping that the next generations, they get to enjoy what we were able to enjoy, because obviously as time goes by and different generations are changing, I just hope that they really value what we were able to have, and hopefully they can replicate a little bit of that in their lives. So that's really my only wish for the future of our kids, and hopefully they will be to some degree, hopefully close to their Jewishness, because I think we're losing a lot of that. So that's probably my heartfelt wish for them and for the next generations. But other than that, yeah, we think we've been able to have what we thought we were going to have. Obviously, we still miss our families, and we wish we had one of them or some of them nearby. But we knew that was part of the process. So hopefully our kids can be together. Hopefully they can come back to us, which is really what we're praying for, and just be together and eventually just value those things.
That's wonderful. We hope for that for you also. So thank you, Eduardo, for your time and for this interview. It's wonderful, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. The same to you.
Okay.
Appreciate this. This is an amazing project. I think it's fantastic. Thank you.
Tell others about us.
I will for sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Have a great day.